And we're live. What's up? What's good? What's going on? What's going on here? Oh, full screen. All right. We in this joint. We in this thing. This is my new Blue Yeti mic. But it's not blue. It's pink. And I'm really proud of it. Really, really proud of it. So yeah, this is just like a live chat and check in to see how people are doing. Nobody is on yet, so it's just me talking to myself. But when you enter the chat, I guess there's people also as well going to be watching from playback. So, um, if you're watching on the rerun, which will be in the future, definitely put also in the chat how you're feeling today or whatever day it is, and then put in the chat an emoji that describes your emotions and why you're feeling like that. Turn the game down a little bit. Yeah, I just feel like there is a lot going on right now in the world. There's a lot of just like waking up being done. And I recently realized just that life is just like a never ending journey of learning about yourself, um, learning about others and who other people in your life are, what type of role other people play in your life. And the journey, it can sometimes feel confusing. Sometimes you can lose yourself in just information. Like there's so much information, there's so much access that we have to different information. Just like even if it has a lot of even if it has evidence to it, even if it has facts to back it up. But like, what's the difference between fact and opinion sometimes? Hi, Havoc Abyss. Greetings to you too. I was just kind of rambling. Hi, Michelle. Peace. Peace, everybody. I was just kind of rambling. Sorry that my computer. You know what? Let me change this. Hold on. Oh, that sounds way better. Why didn't I do that the first time? Okay. This is like my first real encounter with the Blue Yeti mic. But, anyways, yeah, I was just really rambling about different stuff, but like the same stuff because I just feel like there's a lot happening in the world. There's always been a lot happening in the world, but sometimes you can get information overload. You know what I'm saying? You get so much information that you don't really know what information to focus on. And sometimes we can go into um, rabbit holes. Sometimes we can go into just like deep dive explorations. And it's good to have knowledge and it's good to also gain wisdom to certain things. It's even good to sometimes watch the news. Like yesterday, when I saw my mom was watching the news, and I was just thinking about how the news affects people mentally. Like, the news really affects people's mental health. It can show good things, but also just shows a lot of negative things that are happening, which there are a lot of negative things in general, but there's only, like, a small portion of what the media wants to filter that we see. They make sure we see only what what is perceived or what they want us to perceive instead of like what the whole thing is, which life will always be like that. We can't really control what other people put in front of us, but we can control how we choose to consume it. But just in general, um, Damani said the news is all negativity. I feel like every time I would go to even like turn on any type of news, it's negative. But at the same time, I know there's like positive things, but it is mostly negative. Um, And it really affects you, like, I really think the true nature of, like, eyes are the windows to the soul is the things that we take in through our eyes, not just the things that we, um, not just the things that, like, people see when they look at us in our eyes, because I can really tell when somebody is feeling really, like, really vulnerable when they don't make eye contact with you. When I have a conversation, I really make really great eye contact, and for a lot of people, I think it's intimidating, but I really just like to look at people when I talk to them. But, like, human to human, like, you understand the connection between the eyes, but it definitely goes both ways. Like, the things that you see too through your eyes, like, your eyes are a filter and a lens through which you see the world. So, when information enters through your eyes, it's like filtering through to parts of your spirit, and I feel like it affects you spiritually as well as mentally. Blessings, blessings, and, to everybody who's just coming in a little while ago, just rambling, whatever you all have to, like, add to the conversation, I just, like, come on here and just start rambling and just talking about anything that's on my mind, and today was on my mind just happens to be an overload of information. I was actually feeling just, like, a little bit more anxious today than usual, and I'm not sure if it's the conversations I've been having, and the synchronicity in the conversations that I've been having recently with just, like, friends and family members, but, the world gives you signs all the time, so sometimes signs aren't meant to make you feel, like, comfortable, they're just meant to make you kind of vigilant of things. Maria said, "I am 2 months into my lock journey. Love your channel." Congratulations on 2 months. That's what's up, and thanks for the support. Comment, everybody, where you are, like, if you're or first of all, how is everybody doing today? If you wanna comment, like, an emoji that tells how you're doing, how you're feeling, etcetera, or just type it in the chat. And then if you are in the lock community, um, where are you in your lock journey? I would really like to know. We are affected. Yes, we are. We are humans, so it does affect us. Definitely. And I think that there's a lot of, I guess, like, argument or, like, discourse and how how we see ourselves, like, human or, like, the ability to take on forms of, um, I would say, inhuman abilities. Like, how what makes us human? Is it the fact that we are flawed, or is it the fact that we can actually do things that a lot of people would consider unhuman or, like, divine or quote unquote godly? Um, and that's, like, kinda like a whole other conversation in itself, but yeah. 2 weeks in on the lock journey. Hey, that's what's up. What's up, Rebix Q? Uh, Sorry if I say some of y'all's channel names wrong. I am 30 oh, 3.5 years long. I thought that said 31 years long. I was about to be like, "Oh, you've been in this for a minute." I actually just literally washed my hair today. I washed it in, I washed it, like, 10 AM today, and I just air dried my hair, so usually every single time I wash, I air dry. I actually don't usually go outside to dry my hair. I usually dry it inside the house because I actually heard that if your locks are wet and then you go outside and it's, like, really sunny outside, because like I said, when I washed it, it was, like, in the morning, and so the sun was kinda out, and around, like, 12 p.m. is 12 to 2 is, like, the hottest part of the day. So, I heard that if you let the raw sun hit your hair when it's wet, then it's, like, not a good mix. But I haven't tried it out because I just don't want to, and I just stay in the house and dry my hair. But what I'll do is, when I leave my hair all down and, this section in the back is the last to dry. So I usually just put 2 ponytails, like, kinda like half up, half down, but, like, 2 ponytails, half up, half down, so that the back can air out more. Um, and now it's fully dry because again, I washed, like, 10 AM, so it was less than 10 hours. Your locks are lovely, thank you. Yeah, so I think my hair just happens to grow a little faster than, probably the average person. When I first started, a little less than 2 years ago, because in November, it will be 2 years, but when I first started, they were like this shrunken up, and this is a shrunken state because especially after I wash my hair on day 1, because it air dries, I feel like it shrinks up more, but it then shrinks up even more throughout the week. So, it's actually probably kind of elongated, so I lied. But, I think the average person's hair grows, what is it, a half an inch a month? So, basically, your hair over a year would grow 6 inches, right? I haven't really measured my hair because I don't really do length checks, and it's kinda difficult to measure that when you have locks because your hair is shrunken up anyway, so I wouldn't really be able to measure if it grows 6 months over a year. If you hear my stomach growling, it's because I only had a banana today. Oh, yeah, and some cereal. Why is it not a good mix? I don't know. I can't really, explain the science behind it because I don't really understand the science behind it. I just know that well, I don't know anything, but I just haven't tried it because I don't know. But, apparently, it's something about the sun, the elements of the sun mixing with wet hair. Like, I don't know if this would make sense, but I think of it kinda like when you're out, when it's wintertime and it's really cold and your hands are cold and they didn't get a chance to fully unthaw, but then you go and wash them in hot water, it doesn't feel good. I don't know. I think maybe it's something like that. I have no idea. Or maybe also it might be something to do with water evaporating into the air and the heat speeding up that evaporation process so that it's not as natural from the sun specifically. And then it might also just be the actual heat from the sun because I have a hair dryer that I usually don't use on wash day to dry my hair unless I'm in a rush, unless I have to go somewhere because heat on the hair in general can be negative. Oh yeah, one more thing. Like I remember when I would do wash and goes and when you try to blow dry your hair, right after not wash and go, what am I talking about? When you wash your hair and then you try to blow dry your hair right after, but you try to like, put, like, straight heat on wet hair, that can cause more damage than if you use like warm heat on completely wet hair. But you at least want your hair to kind of like dry a little bit before you use some type of heat, which makes a lot of sense. So I don't know, like one out of the four things I said may make sense, but yeah, those are just some theories because again, I don't really know the science behind it. If I pat my locks dry with a towel, they stick up all crazy, but like that's real. You must be like in the starter phase, shorter phase. The sun in wet locks feels so damn good. Well, maybe I should try it then if it feel good. Hello, everybody who's coming in. What's up? Um Feel free to start any type of conversation that you would like. This is just a rambling, honestly. What kind of cereal? I had this morning I had what's it called Raisin Bran. No, it was not Raisin Bran. It was Honey Bunches of Oats. But sometimes my mom buys the off-brand one. So yeah, like it would say like crunchy flakes or something like that. She buy like the Lidl brand or like the Wise. She goes to Wise a lot. Uh, the sun dries your hair faster than a dryer. Okay. I mean, yeah, I would feel like that's valid. Why do a lot of people take the short pathways in life and the longer hard path? Wait, why do a lot of people take the short pathways in life and the longer path and longer hard? You talking about like why do people do one and not the other? Like why do people like to take shortcuts? I mean, shortcuts are easy. I know a lot of people that like to take shortcuts. Um, I don't know because I've never really been one who likes to take the shorter path. I personally always try to make things hard for myself for some reason. I'm also a busybody, so I'm always like doing something. But if I could put myself in the shoes of somebody who likes to take the easy route out, this is actually crazy. This is like really synchronous. Is that a word? Because my sometimes my dad he sends like these um like motivational videos. You know those like YouTube channels that share like clips of Steve Harvey talking, and then it may be like other entrepreneurs, like that one guy who hosts a talk show, but like has other people come on, and literally all that guy does is like, oh okay. Like he doesn't say anything. He just like listens to other people talk. I think his name was like Andrew Greer or something, but in the video my dad sent this morning, the motivational one, the dude was like, "You know why so many people don't experience growth? Because they really enjoy comfortability too much. They they really hate being uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable isn't fun, yeah, but like you kind of have to go through hell to get to your heaven." And I completely agree with that. I feel like it's like a balance a lot of the times because it's my tummy. It's talking to me. A lot of I think a lot of people struggle to find this balance because expectation versus reality. Like you kind of expect something to be a certain way, maybe because of past times that you've tried the same thing, and maybe your expectation, even your mindset about how to continue doing that same thing is the same, like, it hasn't changed. So, you continue trying to take shortcuts because you're so tired of doing the same thing and getting the same result. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, a lot of people don't take that leap of faith, and it really does require faith to believe in something that you don't have evidence that you're gonna achieve. But a lot of people don't take that leap of faith because the longer path takes longer time, it takes more effort, and it takes the time for you to get out of your comfortability zone. A lot of people like the idea of fitting in with everybody else, whatever that means. I don't think there's a such thing as fitting in. A lot of people just like their life to look like everybody else's because from the outside going in or from the outside looking in, most people's life looks maybe looks a certain way and looks luxurious and they want that. That's my kind of like long and hard answer. Um but then I'll kind of speak from the other perspective that some people choose the longer hard path because they like a challenge. I like to challenge myself and it's fun. Like I like hard things. I like things that take a lot of effort. Um like yoga. Yoga's kind of difficult, but I like to sweat. And I'm probably the only one of the only people that I know that enjoy working out. When I first started, like, getting into fitness, I thought everybody else in the gym liked working out too, and I thought that's why they was there. But that's not the case. They like the end result from working out, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, what is your motivation for what you're doing? Like, what is the intention? Is it to be in the present moment and to just do the thing without really looking at the end goal? Or is it your end goal is the actual motivation and everything in between is just what you have to do to get there? You know, it's like multiple lenses, and I think either one is valid. What's good? What's good? Yeah, I might try going outside. Maybe because it's getting like the autumn months, that might be a little dangerous, but no, I mean, it's still September. I think as long as it doesn't get into like October, November, honey bunches of oats top 5 best. I agree. I'll list my top 5 cereals. How about that? I like well, in my opinion, I think that's actually difficult because I don't even eat a lot of cereal. But I used to eat a lot of Cinnamon Toast Crunch until I realized that it was just too sugary. Like it tastes like a churro, but it tastes like multiple churros. You know how you eat the same thing, like, and at first it tastes really good because you only have a little bit of it, but like as you start eating it again, it started to taste sweet to the point where it's nasty. I think that's Cinnamon Toast Crunch for me. I don't like it anymore. I used to like Frosted Flakes. I like wheat. I like wheat wheat shreds. What are those things called? Wheat something. Hey, check out I see Chimera sunflower. Okay. Let me know what your experience was with the sun drying your locks when you have, please. Maybe I'll try it in 2 weeks because I usually wash my hair every 2 weeks. I don't really keep a exact count, but maybe like a week and a half. Have you ever dyed your locks? Would you ever do green? I've never dyed my locks before. My locks actually dye themselves. If you didn't notice, I literally have brown hair. Well, it's brown down here, and then it's dark brown. But I noticed that's just a natural thing with people when they have locks for a long time. It starts to have this natural ombre effect, and I think it's really cool. But would I chemically dye it? No, probably not. I've dyed my hair before I even had locks. But I think many wheats, that's what it is. I was about to say wheat thins. Can't remember Stewie. Wheat thins. Um, yeah, mini wheats. But green, I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about I don't know about that one. But I heard that green is one of the most difficult colors to get out your hair because I used to dye my hair and I had purple hair. I used to have light brown hair. I had black hair. I had I had burgundy hair. Never had no blue or green hair though. I've seen people do it and it looks good though. So I wouldn't I wouldn't count it out. So I think one thing that the lock journey might do is create this sense of minimalism. I know it has for me, but it's like if you kind of have like a carefree aspect with it, you're kind of like, oh, I could diet, I could not, or I could like put, lock charms in it, or I could not, or I could just like barely think about it all day, except for on wash day or when I go to like try to brush lint on my locks or something like that. Um, I kinda, like, went really minimalistic with it because part of my journey is sort of not looking at my hair and not worrying about my hair, and I think actually that might be a reason why it grows and it flourishes because I kinda, like, do my little scalp massages or whatever, and then, do my little sprays or whatever, and then stimulate it, and then leave it alone. I think that is like a large component of like, white flourishes. I don't think there's anything wrong with, coloring your locks because some people, they do, like, henna, which, is supposed to be non-toxic and non-damaging. So, yeah. Silver is really cool. I seen, people with, like, silver streak either in the front or, like, the sides or the back. I'm about to freeform just watching your channel so much. No second retwist. Yeah, I think freeform is cool. And, there have been a lot of people with comments, on videos or even on Instagram that I've seen that talk about how freeform is like it's like equivalent to your fingerprint. There's nothing else like it because it's literally how it grows naturally. And I think the more this is just like just something in life, just in general, the more that we kind of like manipulate our natural selves, the more that we start to look like everybody else or look kind of like everybody else. Because when I actually like see most people's locks are like I guess the most popular locks, and I still, think that the most popular looking locks are really nice looking and all locks are valid. But in general, when you do retwist your locks, just because of the round roundening it does, it kinda, like, straightens it out and, like, makes it look uniform, and a lot of people's looks uniform, so you end up kinda, like, looking like what other people's locks look like, but the more that we kinda, like, deviate from that, it's like a more natural, yeah, like, hand print or whatever, um, and that's just, like, in general because I also notice before having locks, personally, when I would do hairstyles, I would kinda, like, search at different hairstyles here and there and, slick back, do the edges and everything like that, and it's like, everybody does that, though. Like, everybody does their edges, or everybody used to do their edges. And then I used to try to make my edges look like what most other people's edges look like because I thought that's what your edges are supposed to look like, but my edges don't do that. Like, which is why I don't do my edges. My edges never did that, actually. The only thing that ever laid down my edges was, Gorilla not even Gorilla Snot, Got to Be Glued gel, which is really not great for the hair. Like, I tried everything. I used to try, what's that really popular style Eco no, I mean, of course I tried Eco Styler gel, but it's this other one, that came out maybe 2014. I tried all of them. Long story short, I tried all of them. Henna is actually very drying. I didn't know that. Henna isn't recommended. Noted. Okay. Why do a lot of people's have so many friends in their life? I mean, I don't really know. Different reasons, I think. I think some people have what I would say mutable personalities. Some people are naturally very likable. How do I explain that? I mean, some people have a type of personality where they can get along with almost anybody, and then some people don't. um, some people are more socially awkward than others. Some people don't even know what awkwardness is. Personally, I have a difficult time reading awkwardness. I've been told that I'm a pretty awkward person, but also I get along with almost everybody that I meet. I mean, if I meet you and I'm not really feeling your personality like that, I probably just won't really talk much. It's not like I'll be rude or anything like that, but some people, it may look like they have a lot of friends. And if you ask them and go to them personally, they may say that they don't have friends. They have a lot of associates and they have maybe a lot of people that like them or like their personality. Or they maybe even like go to a lot of functions. Maybe they host their own functions. Maybe it looks like they're going out having a lot of fun with their friends, etc. But a lot of people on the inside feel just as lonely as the people who actually physically don't have a lot of people, which is very real. I wouldn't risk dyeing your locks. Yours are perfect to me. Well, thank you. I wouldn't say perfect, but hello, blessings, peace, blessings, love to all of y'all. How's everybody's day going? How's everybody's week going? It's Monday. How does everybody feel about a Monday, the start of a week? Or is like Sunday the start of a week? Or like, is there a start? Is there like a different day every week that's like the start? I use flaxseed gel that I make in my kitchen. It slicks my edges down perfectly. Yeah. I've seen people make flaxseed gel. That's pretty cool. I get along with everyone. That I mean, I don't know like I'm not really that into astrology because I feel astrology can definitely be pretty on point. I've also I think there's a lot of things that go into it. I haven't really got really deep into it. I know that there's your rising sign and then there's the other signs that can and they're determined by I don't know like what time of the day you were born, what day of the month you were born, etc. And those can make up other traits that you have. But for some reason, I still feel like it doesn't determine your actual like personality. Because there are plenty of Virgos. I'm a Virgo, by the way. There are plenty of Virgos that I've met in my lifetime and actually hung out with. A lot of them I click with. Some of them not so much. But and a lot of them their birthday might be around mine and etc. And then also other signs that supposedly you're supposedly compatible with, you may have different interactions. Like say you just wanna date people and you wanna date like a specific sign because you think they match up with your sign. You think like, oh, the chemistry gonna be strong and everything like that. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that go into relationships. But um yeah, a lot of people would say getting along with the ability to have like a mutable personality is similar to your sign. But I don't know, like I said, I think there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Astrology is a science and is often reduced to pop astrology, unfortunately. Interesting, noted. I've dated like 3 signs I'm not compatible with. Noted. Apparently me too. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, anytime we kind of take something to be set in stone, we always have a preconceived notion, a preconceived perception about a situation before we even go into it or experience it, and I think sometimes when we have that preconceived perception, just because of our past experiences, it may not be the most advantageous going into a certain situation. Like, just because you have encountered so many of the same sign, whether friendship, relationship, or whatever, and you didn't like them, doesn't mean like you don't like every person of that sign. And I also think that science is based off of evidence, right? So like science is the study of certain things. And one thing I've learned with science is yeah, I am a Virgo. Yeah, I said that. There are so many bad things out there about Virgos, man. I mean, you can believe what you want, but that ain't got nothing to do with what I believe about myself. So, but I mean, like, I think the ability to see things within yourself that may not be as favorable, I definitely have seen how some of the traits that they say about Virgos are true. Like, we like to control things, like, basically control freaks. I'm kinda like that. I can't even lie, I'm kinda like that. Um, I guess my personality fools a lot of people because every time somebody tries to guess my sign, they're wrong until I tell them, and then they're like, "Oh, I can see it." Most toxic relationship. Yikes. Well, I'm sorry about that. Let me know if there are specific videos requests y'all want to see that like maybe you've commented that you want to see, but like I haven't produced yet because y'all are the people who consume my videos, so it's pretty much like y'all be running stuff, kind of. But yeah, I mean I have a lot of thoughts in my head every day about different things. Me and my friend were actually talking about starting a podcast. Um, we have a lot of very similar thoughts. I was just actually talking with her somewhat about how when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I thought my life was the Truman Show when I haven't even seen the Truman Show movie at that time. Um, but I think the concept of you feeling like, do people know what I do in my free time and I don't even like know them? Like, are they watching me when I'm at home? I mean, it may sound a little paranoid, but when you really get to thinking about it, just the fact that when you're next to your phone and you're having a conversation about something, and then when you're on TikTok or you pick up your Google app, that same thing that you were just talking about, there's an ad for it or there's a video on it. People are listening. And that's not to like sound um paranoid or anything like that, but just being vigilant. But yeah, no. Well, one of my friends and I were talking about starting a podcast. So I mean, I have kind of views on some things, and I enjoy the commentary that was going on the religion and spirituality video that I made last Monday, I think. I really enjoy the commentary. I mean, I mean, I can't control what people comment, but I really think that just the ability to kind of listen to another person's perspective that's maybe a completely different perspective than you and be able to listen to it even though it may be a different perspective about something that you feel very strongly about. The ability to listen and not tell somebody that they're straight up wrong is like very mature because at the end of the day, I think the concept of right and wrong is very, very gray. There's many different interpretations of the same thing, and sometimes neither is right, neither is wrong. I think, a lot of us get bits and pieces of the same subject, and because our foundation of learning may be different than the next person, we interpret it a different way, but we're reading the same stuff, but sometimes we can see that argument is just non-productive. Even though, like, we try to be helpful with it, but yeah, whenever just know that, like, whenever I see a comment and I don't comment back or like a I guess maybe like a controversial comment or statement and I may not comment back, it's not that I don't care about the comment, but simply sometimes when you've said what you've said and like you stand on what you say, responding to another person's comment that tries to tell you that you're wrong is just not helpful when you're not trying to tell anybody that they're wrong. I don't believe that anybody else is right or wrong. I don't believe that I'm right or wrong. These are just thoughts in my mind. Definitely do a podcast. Yeah, I would probably need the help of my friend Danielle though, because we think very, very similarly. The microphones pick up if you don't disable in phone settings, you're not paranoid. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, there's just so many there's just so many rabbit holes that you can go down and some things are productive to think about and to wonder about because we will never know the full truth, you know? We can't we can. There are ways, but we probably won't access all the information in life that there is to know even in one lifetime if you believe that we come back to earth. Um m- because sometimes thinking yourself into some of these ideas can be unproductive to the point where like it stops your regular um what you have to do for yourself for that day, like self-care and things like that. So there have been times where I just got into so many rabbit holes that it's like mentally draining to think about because you can really make yourself or think yourself into a state of like anxiety or like depression over these type of things because sometimes it may come to a point where you're like, why is life like this? And it feels like my life is being controlled. But that's not how I feel because I know the power of my tongue, um, the power of my thoughts and my actions and my words. And as long as you know that and know yourself, then you'll be all right. Probably in I'll probably go for like maybe like 5 more minutes. This is good conversation. Yeah, I mean, if it's not like productive talk, some some conversations just aren't worth engaging in. For some people, they simply excuse me, some people literally just like seek out instances where they have the opportunity to prove somebody else wrong. And for a lot of people, the reason why they seek to prove somebody else wrong is for an insecurity in what they believe in. Believe it or not, like some people are so insecure in their own beliefs and they're just questioning everything in the world as well, that they have to feel like they have to put a purpose behind their beliefs by proving everybody else who has different beliefs wrong. But at the end of the day, it's not a it's not even like a fact or wrong or right, because we're like it kind of just like proves the point of the original person, because the one of the main points is like unity consciousness. And we can't do that if we're always like pointing the finger at somebody else. So it literally just like contradicts itself. Um One of the main things that I was saying in the religion and spirituality video is that the very institutions that people use is separation, um, to keep knowledge from people. Because if you have unity consciousness, you literally have the answer to freeing yourself from all the institutions that I'll just say the government. The government wants your mind to be under, but it's not just the government. Um, so I mean, we see it in like forms of like racism, and then even like colorism within racism, religion, um, different groups in the government, even like classifying us as certain belief systems in the government. I've just like governed politics and religion is so closely correlated with each other, but in essence, it's the separation that really kills us. And I think that um having a sense of like what your ego is doing to your mental space is very, very important, because a lot of people are just like insecure, and that is their main motive for everything they do. I also think that most people who are so bent on religion, it's not that they may want to like lead people to the promised land or lead people to salvation or things of that nature. They're involved in their religion because they don't want to go to hell. It's actually from fear, not from love. Like the whole idea of spirituality is like love of God, love of self, love of everybody else, because the idea behind unity consciousness is that everybody is you, you are everybody, you are all living things. You are connected with all living things. So you love all living things. You don't fear anything. You don't fear any other living thing. You don't fear any other human being. You don't fear death, you don't fear hell, you don't fear I mean, never mind. But you'll fear no evil. But it's like if your motivation for what you do is fear, then everything will come out of insecurity. Everything. And then the intention behind your actions will show in the way that you present yourself. That's all I have to say. You fear God, yes. Yes. And I think oh, let me get to the other comments. Don't fear evil though, because evil is doesn't even have any control over our life. That was the main point that I was saying. People fear People do fear hell because they fear evil, because they feel like, oh, the devil is controlling my life, when that's not what God said to us. We speak over all those things. That was the main point of me saying that. Why do God don't want anybody to go with you to the promised lands? Well, I can't tell anybody God's thoughts. because those are God's thoughts. But if I had to guess, um, it's the same reason I think in the Bible Jesus didn't have no friends. Um, your life can't look like other people's lives because you have a different reason that you're even here. So when you're in isolation, it's the ideal time for you to not be influenced by other human beings' opinions of anything. Um, I think that isolation is one of the best tools to level up in your way of thinking because literally everything that we think or every thought or not every thought, but like almost every thought in your head that goes through the day, all of the thoughts that may cause anxiety, all the thoughts that may cause sadness, they're not thoughts that you just one day just like started thinking of by yourself with nobody's help. All of our thoughts are influenced by some type of outside source. They're influenced by the things that people say to us, and then the things that people say to us, we repeat inside of our own mind like a tape recorder, and then we end up manifesting them. The media, again, like I was talking about in the beginning of the live stream, that eyes are the windows to the soul, and it's not just like when people look through our eyes or we look at somebody else's eyes, but it's literally what you see goes through this portal, this like soul portal. Um, that can affect you. Everything that we can take in through our five senses, it's influenced by the outside world, by other human beings and what they create because we've created God's it's God's creation, but we've also created these physical things. I would say physical things. And so, right, everything is a perception based upon other people's thoughts or world's thoughts. And really, what we're trying to do when we kind of like balance the mind and the consciousness is like filter out the world's thoughts. And we're like, okay, what are my thoughts though? Like, what are my wants and what is my plan and my avenue without the influence of any other human being on my life because this is my life. So I think that's the reason. Like you can't bring other people with you. And I remember when I was first starting this YouTube channel at the time, my best friend, I remember saying to them, "Yeah, I'm gonna start my YouTube channel." And I don't know, maybe they didn't really believe me or believe that I was gonna stick to it or anything like that, but it that was kind of like the first step in becoming aware of my spiritual journey. Um, but why was I saying this? I wanted to take her on my spiritual journey with me. And I wanted to have her do the things that I was doing because I wanted us to be in this together because like she's my best friend, right? So it was like I couldn't do that though, because this is a journey that I have to go on by myself. Everybody can't level up with you. In essence, yeah. That's it. Girl, maybe we need skincare routine. Skincare video tips on having some great skin because your skin is giving. Thank you. Rose water. Rose water on my face. Yeah. Some conversations aren't worth engaging in. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You need to repent. You're not spiritual unless you have the Holy Spirit of Jesus Christ. Yeah. Are you telling me that I need to repent? I mean, like I've repented. um, or no, you don't fear God, and that's the problem. The devils in you fear God, however. Okay. I mean, I just know that like whatever somebody tries to tell me, I know who I am and whose I am. So I appreciate every single comment that everybody will ever make, even if they try to tell me that like what I'm believing is wrong or like, what I'm saying is wrong. I won't ever say that, like, what I say is the end all be all because I listen to other people's, points of view. Um, I do, however, I don't, of course, have the most Christian of beliefs, but that's valid if that's your story, stick to it, and blessings to you. The art about not wanting to go to hell hit different. I feel like for a long time, and maybe even now, that's my reason. Well, I mean, that was literally my reason, like, for going to church. Well, not for going to church because, like, my parents took me to church, but I feel like that's literally we fear a lot. We fear a lot, and fear is often the catalyst of our actions, and that's why anxiety is so prevalent. Anxiety is prolonged fear. Fear comes from stress, our physiological response to the fight or flight, right? Which is like a primitive reaction to something that apparently we've gained during the evolutionary times when we had to like run away from a bear because we were living in the woods with bears. So, um, we had to get away quick or get ourselves out of a really trying time, but it's only supposed to last for so long, for a quick second. That is the short stress response or fear response. But then when it becomes prolonged, that's anxiety. So I feel like because a lot of people do fear what they think may be somewhat in control of their literal destiny, like their literal spiritual destiny, they're in a prolonged state of anxiety over it because they think, "Oh, this is literally my life." And that was once my idea as well. Yeah, I mean, I Acts 2 Pentecostal. I'm not here to argue as well. I mean, I feel like your views are valid. Um, and that is what you go through. I mean, I don't again, I know whose I am and who I am. So like, I don't know. Is And I also encourage you to watch some of my past YouTube videos because I believe wholeheartedly in Jesus Christ. So I don't think you know me, and I think that your comments are um they're not reflective of your support in me because you haven't seen my videos. And what you are saying is contradictory to what I talk about. But I mean, your thoughts are valid too. I'm not going to tell you that you're right or wrong, but I don't think you've seen like my videos enough to talk about my beliefs. Because I can definitely speak for myself, and what you're saying that I believe in is wrong. 'Cause I do believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah, you are wrong because I literally talked about. Um, I actually would recommend that you go watch my videos, especially the video that I put out last Monday when I actually talked a lot about Jesus and my experience relating to Jesus. So yeah, yeah, go watch them, buddy. Go watch them. But again, I mean, I like again, I think we're getting bits and pieces of a similar story, but in think everything that we think is right or wrong is based off of how we've grown up, the things that we've been taught, right? So, I saw 20 seconds of a video where you're recommending a book about yoga. Okay. Well, I mean, if you are not in support of what I'm doing, I would recommend leaving. I would highly recommend leaving because this probably just isn't the community for you, buddy. I don't want to have to kick you out, but like, you know what I'm saying? This probably ain't the community to you. If you're not like gonna be kind of like, we don't really do that over here. All right. All right. I'll just remove you. Yeah, like, I don't, I don't get it. Like, and so this is like, and I'm glad y'all saw it because like this is the type of, these are literally the type of things that Jesus actually dealt with. And this is like what I talked about in the video. This is such spiritual alignment because literally I quoted a scripture from the Bible where Jesus, what did he do? He drove out the demons from a guy who was blind and couldn't walk. Was he blind and deaf and couldn't walk? Whatever. Whatever. Guy, he had some stuff going on. And Jesus was driving out demons. And the Pharisees was like, yo, you doing that with the power of Satan. You know what I'm saying? Like this is every day, y'all. This is like literally every day. So as long as you know whose you are and who you are, this stuff shouldn't be able to like really affect you because you're really grounded and centered with yourself. Yeah. But thank you. I get compliments on my eyebrows all the time. So yeah. I use a brow mascara called it's by NYX. It's called Thick It Stick It. But yeah. I went a little over time. I usually try to keep my live streams a little under an hour. So yeah, y'all just continue to comment what you want to see, what type of videos that you would like me to make, and what resonates with you the most. I mean, I definitely have ideas, but y'all literally spark the inspiration for a lot of my videos, and they end up coming out a lot better than what I thought they were gonna be. So yeah, just let me know. Comment on every single video. Continue to like and support because I really do appreciate y'all's support. And I think by the end of the year, we should be at 10K, which is cool. Like, don't really get caught up. I don't really get caught up in the numbers, but I think over a little over 2.5 years, 10K is really cool to have that type of inspiration in other people's lives because literally it was what was going on at the time in like May or June of 2020 that inspired me to make this very video or to make this very YouTube channel. And things continue to inspire me because there's things just going on in the world. You must stay grounded. Proud of you. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably eat some food. And so yeah, stay grounded, stay protected. Just remember who you are. Like nothing, again, nothing can phase you unbothered by things. Just know like who you are. Know thyself, for real. Know thyself. And I appreciate all the love and support that you all show on a day-to-day basis. And I'm gonna go ahead and get going. But yeah, peace, love, and joy to all of your family and friends. And I will see you in the next one. Peace, y'all.